So let's start this broadcast with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour. And this has got to do with Israel's relentless campaign of bombing the Gaza Strip. The human suffering at this moment is simply incalculable. And amidst this, Hamas has released 2 more hostages on humanitarian health grounds because these 2 women were said to be really elderly and they were allowed to walk free. At this moment, there's a lot of speculation about Israel's much-touted ground offensive. When will it come? Israel has been talking about it for the last 10+ days. Let's in fact take a look at the latest development. The French president is the latest Western leader. In fact, to arrive in Tel Aviv, his trip to Israel aims to express his country's full solidarity with the state of Israel in the aftermath of the 7th of October attack. Now, Macron has met with the French families that were caught up in the Tel Aviv airport. He'll be meeting with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu during his visit. Hamas, meanwhile, has released these 2 elderly women on humanitarian health grounds. The 2 elderly women were set free. They were handed over to representatives from the Red Cross and the Red Crescent. And they, from the Rafah border crossing, were allowed to walk free. The 2 women in question are said to be 79 and 85 years old. This is the Hamas fighters giving them food, water and other essentials for life. Now, earlier, an American mother and her teenage daughter had also been released by Hamas. There are an estimated 200+ hostages who are presently in the custody of Hamas. And people within Israel are asking some tough questions of their government. They want to know from the Netanyahu administration, what are they doing? Is there a strategy in place? Is there a policy in place to bring back those who are in the custody of Hamas? Hamas has also said that it is at this moment considering the possibility of releasing all those in its custody who have dual passports and are dual citizens. On the other hand, Israel, of course, continues with the tactic that it has practiced for many years. It has continued with its relentless campaign of air bombings. And according to the Israeli officials, the country could, of course, carry out an expected ground offensive into the Gaza Strip. The Israeli military has said that it is preparing for what it describes as unrelenting attacks to dismantle the Hamas. And as per the Israeli chief of staff, the country has no intention of curbing its air bombings on the Gaza Strip. The Israeli defense minister, Yoav Gallant, who remember faced a lot of flack for describing the Palestinians as human animals. He visited the Gaza coastline and said that Israel is preparing thoroughly for the next step. And that is expected to be a multilateral operation from air, ground and sea. So far, remember, there's been very little accountability for the lapse in intelligence as to how Hamas was able to carry out its attack on the 7th of October. Virtually no heads have rolled in Israel. Now, these statements have all come amidst reports that there is pressure on Israel from its allies to delay its offensive into the Gaza Strip. Reports indicate that the United States has urged Israel to delay the ground incursion to allow for time for the release of hostages and for the shipment of aid into the Gaza Strip. The American President Joe Biden has said that any discussions about a Gaza ceasefire could happen only once all hostages are released. Biden also reportedly spoke with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and has reaffirmed his commitment to the ongoing efforts to secure the release of all remaining hostages. He's also urged for the urgent need for the flow of aid into the Gaza Strip. Meanwhile, according to the White House, the United States has sent a few military advisors to the state of Israel following the 7th of October attacks. Now, this is direct American participation. America has been shipping weapons to Israel right from day 2 of this conflict. And at this moment, all the bombs and other ammunition that is being dropped on the Palestinian territory of Gaza, much of it is made in America. That is the level of American involvement in this conflict. And these special individuals, who've now, the American nationals of the military who've now been moved to Israel, they reportedly will be taking part in the kind of operations that Israel has conducted, and they'll be in advisory roles and will share their perspective. The humanitarian cost of this war has has predominantly been borne by the children of Gaza. In many ways, this onslaught by the Israelis has been described as a war on Palestinian children. The images that are coming out of the Gaza Strip are absolutely horrific. In the last 17 days since this conflict has gone on, Israel has killed more than 2,000 Palestinian children in its campaign of air bombings. This is what many of the hospitals look like. Most of the people being pulled out from underneath the rubble are hapless Palestinian children who've got nothing to do with this conflict. And according to an NGO, humanitarian organization called Save the Children, at least 2,000 children have been pulled out from underneath the rubble, and these are the children who've been killed in the last 17 days. And 27 Palestinian children have also been killed in the West Bank since the last 14 odd days. Now, amidst the devastation in Gaza, there are visuals of complete power outages that have been reported in the Palestinian city, in the Palestinian territories of the Gaza Strip. Meanwhile, the Hamas leaders are calling on the Arab and Muslim leaders to take a firm stand amidst the soaring death toll in the Gaza Strip. Hamas political bureau chief has said that the West's pro-Israel position has built a wall between Western countries and the Arab and the Muslim populations that will never go away. The leader has further warned that Israel will never be safe until the Palestinians can enjoy safety, freedom, sovereignty, and more importantly, dignity and equality. The Palestinians say they are not second and third class people, and that they are also human beings who are being bombed out of existence. On the other hand, Israel claims that it has killed about 5 commanders of the Hamas group in the last 17 days of the war. The IDF has said that each of the commanders was a member of the Hamas aerial array, which operates a variety of weapons against the state of Israel. And they've played reportedly a significant role in the attack that took place on the 7th of October. In some other updates, the former American President Barack Obama has got a dire warning for the state of Israel. He's warned that Israel's actions of collective punishment on the Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip will backfire. Now, Obama has said that some of Israel's tactics in this war, such as cutting off food, water and electricity supplies to a civilian population of 2.3 million people, will harden Palestinian attitudes for generations to come. It is also said that this will weaken international support for the state of Israel. Remember, in the last few days, we've witnessed massive rallies that have been taken out across the world in support of the people of Palestine. And Barack Obama now warns that even the political support that Israel is enjoying could erode if Israel continues with its tactic of collective punishment. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.